What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. I know things look different this year, obviously, but it's still time to spend time with the family and be grateful. So for today's video, I have my fiance here, Natalie. She's going to help me with the task of reviewing the Wonder Woman 1984 movie. Came out last night. We had the privilege of watching it on HBO Max, and yeah, we're just going to go over the movie. I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler friendly as possible, so you can watch this video and not necessarily have the plot ruined or any big reveals. Yes, thank you. So yeah, to take it away, I think we got a chance to watch it with myself, Natalie, and her two sisters, and even her mom. She joined in on the movie watching, and I hate to say it, but I was pretty disappointed. Coming off of a dry spell, not being a chance to go to the movies, not having a chance to see any new Marvel or DC content, I was pretty excited to get a chance to watch something new and something to talk about. It didn't really go as planned. What do you have to say? What do you think?
I mean, I was looking really forward to it after the first one. I really enjoyed, and I like the actress herself, Wonder Woman. I think she's great. I think they picked a great lead for her. But other than that, I was even disappointed with the cast alone. I have a hard time separating when it's a comedian and then she puts on a more serious role. So Kristen Wiig was not my favorite, and I think I was already very turned off by her in the movie anyways. The first opening scene with her, I was like, why is she in this movie? I felt like I was watching a skit from SNL. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it almost felt like, they had the same team, right? So Wonder Woman was the first female-led superhero movie, right? We got it before Captain Marvel, we got it before Black Widow, which has still yet to come out, and it did really well in the box office. A lot of people got behind the movie. The director and Gal Gadot, whatever, she got a lot of praise for the movie because of how great it was and how successful it was. And I feel like, I haven't seen any reviews or anything like that, but I know for sure Wonder Woman 1984 just didn't do what the first Wonder Woman did. It almost felt to me like a very low-budget CW kind of cheesy movie. There was a couple parts of the movie where it was over-exaggerated in the sense of how the stunts were done. I don't know. I found myself looking at Natalie over and over again, with my face
what's happening? You had some pros that you wanted to share with everyone.
Right. I appreciated the fact that it was on a streaming service. I'm a big movie movie theater advocate, but having a chance to watch it in the comfort of your home, that was a good thing. I also, although it was a little cheesy, I did appreciate the invisible jet because that was from the comics, and her being able to put that into the movie, I thought that was pretty good for the the people who read the comics or have seen the animated series, and they know what the invisible jet is. It's a little treat for them. But honestly, I didn't feel as moved like in the first Wonder Woman movie. I felt the definite girl power in the first Wonder Woman movie, where I didn't really feel it in this one.
I felt it a little bit when they did the flashback. I enjoyed that part.
Oh, the opening scene?
The opening scene was a good, strong flashback, and I felt I was really excited. I felt this was good. It was going good places. You get a little bit of backstory about her growing up and how she becomes who she is, and I felt the girl power there, right? It's all women, you're strong women, and I felt it was going in a good direction. I would have been fine if they dragged that out. I was fine. I felt good with that. I know Wonder Woman herself wasn't in there, but it was learning a little bit more about her past, and I felt that was really good about it. I enjoyed that part, and I was feeling the girl power, and then they went back to whatever present day was in the movie, and that's where I just completely disengaged.
Going from that scene to the opening scene in the mall.
It was just cheesy.
So cheesy. Like the villains who were robbing the bank and then them getting caught, like the whole like it was just a completely different structure from you know how motivational and inspiring the first scene of the movie was, showing her backstory, showing her becoming a true hero, a true person, and that like eventually truth conquers all.
Right.
And then going into the beginning of the movie, like it just.
What is weird is that like I feel like a lot of like DC and Marvel movies are in like a specific like era, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like Wonder Woman, they tried to like nod to nostalgia so much, like the whole like nostalgia of like a mall when they first became cool, like in Stranger Things when Stranger Things was like totally like into this whole like mall fiasco. Like I felt like they focused so much on like the scenery and like the way people dressed and what they were eating and the stores around them versus like what the people were actually doing. And like I was glad though because like their acting was so bad in the movie. Like they literally just like counted like 700 people on the street and were like, come on guys, like let's go to this deserted mall and like do a scene. Like it was corny. That's when I started to get nervous for where this movie was about to go.
Yeah, I mean it sucks because like you know you want to have your cool moments, like your badass moments when the superhero suits up or they do like a cool fight scene or whatever, but then like there's a fine line where the fight scene goes from being cool to like just flat out ridiculous.
Right. Well, which was I think like
the whole movie.
I liked in the first one, I thought it was great when she was like Wonder Woman and like badass and like doing all these cool stunts that you were like totally unrealistic, but they looked really good and it was clean. And then in this one, there was like no fighting scenes, like hardly any. We were talking about it this morning. Like I think she was maybe in her Wonder Woman costume like 25% of the movie. The other 75%, she had great outfits, yeah, but like that's not what it was really about. Like she was in plain clothes a lot, which in Marvel you never see them in plain clothes. Like I think maybe we saw Iron Man in plain clothes once before Doctor Strange scooped him up.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
she didn't
it.
have like it almost looked like she was like a retired hero, like
yeah.
Oh, I have to put the suit on again, kind of deal. Yeah, no, I felt that, and it was hard because like
we didn't see a lot of good Wonder Woman. It was like she was using her brain versus brawn. But it was like, why are we just had an incredible female figure like totally owning the screen, and then now we put her back in plain clothes and we put her back in an office. Yeah, like we went backwards when we were so excited to like see great things come of it. I guess she was like heartbroken and like not wanting to be like who she was, but for me it was just like when I saw it was 2.5 hours, I was like, wow, this is a long movie, right? And it felt long. Like Avengers movies are longer, but they don't feel that long, right? They're over quick. That was a long movie. I think I got up in the last like 5 minutes and I was like, I'm checked out. Like
she didn't even make it to the post-credit scene. I mean, the post-credit scene wasn't anything crazy, but like even to add to that, like I almost feel like I couldn't really get along with the storyline because I can't really imagine Wonder Woman being like the character she is, giving up her life and her power and all this so she could be with Steve Trevor again. Like, yes, I understand. Like, it's not fair to say that she doesn't deserve love either, but unfortunately, like when you're a superhero, that's on the back burner.
I don't think she's had enough movies of her own. Like maybe if she was like 5 or 6 movies in, I'd understand that she was like willing to like settle down like Captain America did, but like he was like long lived. Like we've seen him do it all. Like he fell in love and he was like done. Like he retired. He's fine. Wonder Woman's been in this is her 3rd movie?
4th, but
like she's not ready. She's not big enough. They spread it out too much that like we haven't seen enough of her like in her prime to like really like get up. And then like when she was fighting, she was spoiler weakened, you know, whatever, you'll find out, but it wasn't like what I expected. I was like ready for like action, like
yeah, it was hard to take the storyline seriously, and then the fighting scenes, I mean,
and the villain makes the movie, and I did not care for the villain. I like him as an actor, but I didn't like who they casted for, and I did not like the storyline of the villain, and I think that's a huge make it or break it too. Yeah. It makes the story a lot slower, and you're not like as engaged with him.
And even like with the storyline with the main villain, if we're considering Maxwell Lord as the main villain, it never felt like really world threatening until like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, essentially, he's a genie who grants you your wish, and you know, he gets a little bit in return, but it never felt like it was a world-ending threat or anything that can seriously develop the plot.
And then her arch nemesis, go ahead.
And her arch nemesis, Cheetah,
quote unquote arch nemesis.
Her like main villain in the comics did not even make it one movie. Or well, she made it through one movie, but that's it. Like,
she was actually the villain for like maybe 15 minutes. She had one scene in a costume, and that was it. And that was like, and it was Kristen Wiig on. I just can't get over it too. But I didn't feel like it was like she's supposed to be a villain, right? Like, you got a Funko Pop for her and everything, and it's like you should have got the Funko Pop of Kristen Wiig as the dorky girl, like not.
Yeah. Well, I got the Funko Pop like damn near 6 months ago before I knew that the fight scene was going to only last 2 minutes.
Right.
I just think it's a shame when you have like such a iconic character, whether it be a villain, and make them disposable for one movie. Like, that would be like the iconic character of the Joker being in a Batman movie, getting killed off, and never being able to use again.
Right as soon as he becomes the actual Joker.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys go out and watch the movie, or stay in and watch the movie through your HBO account, and, you know, let us know. Honestly, it sucks because
we don't want to hate it. We don't want to hate
it.
So if you guys find positive things about it, please share, because we have been fishing for the last 24 hours for positive things to say, and the fact that her wardrobe was like the first thing on my mind is like really frightening.
Yeah, it wasn't what we expected, especially after coming off of Wonder Woman 1 and coming off of a break of not having any movies, any blockbuster movies that we wanted to see. But that being said, I honestly have no clue what they can do to make up for a third, if they end up doing a third movie, because the director planned on doing a trilogy.
Yeah.
So the third movie would actually take place in present day and not in the past. But I don't know. I mean, really know.
And it didn't even end up on a high note. Like, she didn't have an epiphany.
Yeah.
Like, and if she did, if there was like a learning lesson out of it, like, please share. It's like truth something, but like
truth conquers all or something.
At the end, it didn't end up on a cliffhanger that made you feel like she's ready to go and like become like a better version of her, like the original version that we saw in the first. Like, it wasn't like it was like we started off really high and then we could have called like yesterday the down, but like it didn't end up like ready that she was like gonna go out and kick ass again. Like, it just like it ended, right? Like.
Yeah, seeing her in this movie and then seeing her in the Justice League movie and how much strength she brings to the team and how much charisma and all that, there's a huge ass gap in between that needs to get filled to show that character development. Because the end of this movie, compared to where she is in the current DC timeline, I mean, I have no idea what they're going to do.
I mean, I think if anything, I would have appreciated like a movie of like just her, like, before the first one too, like, because I think there's so much core in the history of her story,
like just staying in the island,
staying on the island. Like, I think that could have been a really good story. Like, I would have got like really behind that, because it's just so crazy that like what happens to these other warriors, you know, like there's so many other strong women. Like, that would have been, I think, a really big story. And then like how she would have adapted or met like all the other people on Earth, I think would have been interesting to see.
Yeah. Overall, like, if I were to give it a grade, I'd probably have to say like a C- out of just like sheer respect for the DC universe. But
and he doesn't have a lot, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah, it's man, this is exactly why Marvel is always like my number one. Yeah. I try so hard. Like, DC has so many good characters and so many great storylines they could do. I just feel like once it comes to the actual screen, they don't. They choke. They choke. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. What's your favorite part? What's your least favorite part? Yeah, let us know if we missed anything or if there's anything that, any big. I'm trying to think, what the hell am I trying to say here?
I think there's a lot of messages that we might have missed. Maybe I feel like for me, and I think my family too, like after like the mall scene, I feel like we were pretty disengaged and we already had low expectations for the movie. So if there was like hidden messages or some inspirational hoopla that I think we missed, I truly do. I just don't have a lot of positive things for it. I mean, the movie theater took that experience away first, and then you want to watch like this riveting movie in your home and keep you engaged from all the distractions, and I didn't feel that. I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out the whole time after that scene. I think
like honestly the only thing I can say good about it is I felt like they were trying to outdo themselves with each stunt, and it made me inclined to keep watching to see how much more ridiculous it would get. It was insane. But either way, get a chance to watch the movie. Let us know what you think, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, the next DC productions that come out, are a lot better than this, and we got something better to talk about because I really hate negative talking these movies, but sometimes it has to happen. So, thank you guys for watching,
thank you,
and we'll see you soon.